Can you hear the music? Sort of?
I can't. No, I listened to some of your podcasts earlier too, and I'd heard the music problem. Some guys can hear it, some can't.
Some guys can hear it and some can't, man. It's hard to talk.
I I definitely got a little bit. You can hear a little bit.
A little bit of distortion. All right.
Yeah, it's just it's like maybe distorted. It almost sounds more like. Yeah, no, I don't hear anything. It's just kind of distorted, like some static.
That's fucking dude. Yeah, but we've had a lot of luck the last month or so. A lot of everyone's been able to hear it, but hey,
I'm on a tablet, the iPad too, so that could have some issues. You know what I mean?
Out of that might be something to do with it. Where people come in and listen on, eh? Yeah, that's wild. All right, man. Well, welcome back to another episode of On the Throne with Dick, and shout out to Senjin Boychuk, man, for that intro outro. Find them everywhere on the socials, and man, this week on the podcast, man, I'm really excited because I like your content, dude, and
it's very controversial.
Yeah, you got some controversial shit there, yeah, for sure, man. We got Casey, aka the funny fitter, dude. What's going on?
Just living a dream, man. Recovering from the ice auger injury in fashion here. Got the portable hub out, doing some ice fishing in my backyard. I live on a lake, so
I don't think I've ever had recorded a podcast with someone that was actively ice fishing during the recording.
Hell yeah, I thought it'd be kind of neat. I didn't know how it was going to be received. This is, believe it or not, my first podcast ever. So
you're bleeding all over the place. You're bleeding everywhere.
Popping the cherry.
hey, listen. I heard it could hurt the first time, okay?
It does. It does.
I'll go nice and slow for you. Don't worry. And if you want, you've had some pretty big shits probably. The back end has some experience.
It's definitely a seasoned back end. No Diddy.
More like you watch hockey. You're from Minnesota, right?
I think, did we just beat you guys in the Olympics or something? I don't follow.
Listen, bro. The first time in 46 years.
I know. I know, right? It's like, yeah.
You guys still gotta live in America. You needed this more than we did. All right.
We did. We really did. We really did. We're like at war with our own citizens. We gotta reel it back.
Man, Canada, man, there's a class war going on right now all over. I feel like it's all over the world. I don't know.
It is. I think you're right. It's social media and the big machine, and then the weak-minded, the people that can't really, they need to get off of they need to just go out and live life. They just need to go out and ice fish.
That's attacking. Oh, so that's attacking our fellow men, right? Whether they're left or right, you know what I mean? That's 100%. What they want. That's what the powers that be that want, right?
100%.
There's no left versus right. There's us versus them. You know
That's
what
I mean? Buddy.
The more people realize that, the better off we'll be, right? There's left and right, two wings of the same bird.
100%. 100%. You took the words out of my mouth, bro. It's more people realize that, the better off we'll be. I get. I lean one direction. I think all of us kind of lean one way or the other. But then you get the false labels. Because you have old school values and conservative values, you get these extreme left liberal labels sometimes, you know what I mean? And it goes both ways, you know what I mean? You got the extreme right, like this, they're just so obsessed.
I'm in the center, I just want to be left the fuck alone.
I try to be.
There's some stupid shit going on. I was just reading a thing on Facebook just now while America brought some freedom to Iran yesterday, right? And Khamenei's son just got voted in, and now you got a leader in there who's pissed off and wanting revenge. He's gonna go on a jihadi fucking revenge tour, right? So
right.
But there are people out there, and this is where I stand. You could be against regime change wars and be against invading other countries, and still think that Khamenei needed to go, and still see the failure of certain things happen, right? But you know what? I don't think it was a Trump thing, anyways, man. I'm very much on the path that and I don't want to get into too much politics, but
I hear you.
I'm very much on the path that Trump's the puppet here, and we're fighting this battle right now for Netanyahu. So
Seems like it when you hand the key to the White House over, that was a fucking, I didn't like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't like I haven't commented on it or really got into it much, you know what I mean? I'm just, there's too much going on to even try to keep up anymore without, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna heal my thumb, catch a big fish, and then go weld some pipes together. You know what I'm saying? And feed my family. Just do the same shit. Do the same shit I've done for the last 17 years. Just provide and it doesn't. I was talking to my fiance the other day, and she's kind of on the same page. You know what I mean? 100% on the same page, realistically. But we, you just gotta. I don't know, just enjoy life, and just not get too caught up in the bullshit, because she didn't even know the government was shut down, for instance, for like 35 days. She's like, oh, the government's shut down. I'm like, come here, give me a hug. I love
man,
you for that, but yeah, you just don't get so caught up in it all the time. You know what I mean? People get a little too triggered, and
I'm here to work, provide for my family. I work away from home, for weeks at a time.
Right.
And my wife and my kids were just up here visiting for the weekend. It was my wife's birthday yesterday. Her name's also Casey, by the way, spelled differently.
Ooh, happy birthday, Casey.
Yeah. And they were up here for a few days here. My roommate doesn't go home ever. He lives in Kenya, right? And so two other guys, we're not in camp anymore. They put us in condos, crew houses. Sure. And two other guys in a different condo, they were both on days off. So I asked them, like, hey, guys, you mind if I bring my wife and my kids up? You guys aren't there. We'll clean up and I'll make it so you won't even know we were there, right? And they said, yeah, absolutely. Enjoy your family time. So they came up, they hung out for the weekend. We went swimming, and I was on a really dumb shift. I'm on call 24/7, right? So and I'm on different shifts. I could be on a night shift, a day shift. I could be on both shifts in one day, right? So
yeah.
I was on a really dumb shift doing a cement job and a rig out, where the drilling rig, they're done their hole and done on that pad. They rig out and they leave, right? I was on a 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift. And so, yeah, they came up on the last day of that shift and hung out for the weekend. And yeah, man, it was good. Getting a little bit of time back, time that I don't otherwise get, right? So I'm just here hanging out with my family, enjoying life, recording podcasts.
That's right.
Content for myself to laugh at, that's also making other people laugh, and
right.
Living my life, dude. I
love that.
I don't like getting wrapped up in the politics thing. It bothers me. It really does. Like, it's hard not to let it bother you. If I really want to get mad, I'll open Twitter for like fucking 2 minutes. I'll look at Twitter, I'll get really angry, want to throw my phone in a meat grinder, and then close it and be done with it. Right? I go on Twitter once a day. That's it. 2 minutes. Don't even know I have.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a TikTok, a little Facebook action here and there. The friends and the family. I do the funniest fitter on Facebook, just because I started seeing a lot of my content being recorded and then posted on like other people's stuff on Facebook. So I'm like, man, this guy's recording of me did better than me on TikTok. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And are you monetized over on Facebook yet?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh man, Facebook.
No, I'm working. I guess I'm working towards it. You know what I mean? I get motivated to do it. You know what I mean? And then get busy working 60, 70 hours a week. And then it's just hard to try. Like, it's a full-time job. If you want to like be successful online and like grind and do that, it's a full-time job. I mean, I feel like it is. It can be. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can find there's a happy medium maybe. And I'm trying to find it. Too. But
6 years into creating content now, man. And, I think I found it. And the happy medium is sometimes you got to put the phone down and not care about social media for a day or two.
100%. Yeah, dude, you got to purge.
You're either all or you just walk away for a couple days and let it take a break, right? I've got three TikTok accounts. I got an Instagram. I got a Facebook. I'm on Clapper. I do a podcast. I haven't missed an episode in 3 years, weekly. And, I got to search for people that I want to have on, talk to them, know them,
Sure.
Ask if they want to come on. And then,
that's a grind.
gotta watch content to get ideas for my content, and it's just shit like that. And it's a grind, man. I work over 100 hours a week, plus I put in time on the socials, probably almost as much time on the socials, and it's exhausting, man. It's exhausting. Plus you gotta
wear you out.
Oh yeah. So to throw politics in there and
then that's what'll get you too, man. They can wear the politics can really wear, especially you push. I've had stuff go, millions of views on some of my stuff. You know what I mean? Not on my current account right now, but I mean my other account, I had 80,000 followers. I deleted it during my divorce, kinda, and this was a few years ago, and now I just kind of got motivated with I got a woman in my corner that makes a difference too, that supports it more. My last, we were married a lot of years, but we weren't the same, after some things, you know what I mean, and traveling and having two stepchildren and two boys of our own that we shared. It got hard, young and dumb, traveling around making a bunch of money. You can put stress on a marriage, but
absolutely, absolutely. And then obviously, she's got to deal. She's got to deal with having a man in a union. She got to be by a union man. Like
bona fide
union man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watch your content, man. I watch it. You got some funny shit. Like I think the video that kind of it didn't trigger me. It made me laugh. Okay, so maybe it triggered me a little bit, but when I get I laugh, right? I laugh. I know what the videos are doing. I'm also making content, and I know like half the people that say this shit, they're not. If you're triggered, it's working for what, right? And
it's a win. It's a win.
It's a win. I don't comment back on most shit, even if I do like it. I don't comment back, right?
It feeds you stuff that triggers you too.
It does. Oh, it does. Like what you said, we're the non-union boys that are retired. You don't see them, right? Like where's the 65-year-old non-union pipe fitters that are retired? You don't see them ever, right?
Right.
Yeah. I was just like, man, what the fuck? I'm not. I'm gonna retire one of these days, I swear. And then you get to thinking, wait, is he right? Am I ever gonna get to retire? Holy shit, am I just like in this endless loop of fucking, feeding into the capitalist machine, Like,
right.
Yeah.
It's on both sides. It's funny though, shit. I mean, I say that stuff because I started out non-union. My family I'm a third generation union pipe fitter, but my family, wasn't always like they didn't lean conservative the whole time. So I'm a different breed. You know what I mean? I'm outside of the mold for the average union pipe fitter, right? Not maybe the average. I think a lot of us have kind of started getting, unions were around long before all the political parties claimed them or claimed us. You know what I mean? So I'm just tired of people speaking for me and looking online. That's what kind of got me into the content, is seeing all the false narratives. I worked non-union for many years, you know what I mean? 6 years before I got into the union, traveling around the country, kind of, in my opinion, here in this area, in the Midwest specifically, the industry is so good for the union, you know what I'm saying, that it made no sense to me to stay traveling in that capacity. And that's where guys in my videos will get it fucked up. Is they're like, well, I would make a fucking $500,000 this year, and I got 3 employees. I'm like, there, you said it. I said, in my capacity, traveling around with a lunchbox with a fucking welding hood and a box of fucking tools in your truck, traveling around, it's not beneficial. So if you're doing that in the same capacity, I'm speaking to you, right? Not the guy that's got a shop and he's an owner. And I'm not saying owning a non-union shop's a bad thing necessarily. Ownership's great, right? I'm not knocking the hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do stand for safe working environments, great benefits, great pay and retirement, pension, annuities. I love all that shit. But I also lean kind of right, whereas I like to keep my money and do what I want with it. I like pro-energy presidents. I mean, the union conservative shit, it gets people going. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it riles them up, and they can't fucking stand it. I'm like, sorry that I don't go blindly casting my voting blue no matter who. I can't do it. And I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but
I voted liberal back in the day. Hell, I voted.
And that's what I was getting at, is my family was sorry to cut you out, but yeah, my family was Union and Democrat for years, and it kind of it shifted. Something changed after Obama. That era, it just kind of changed. You know what I mean? For my family personally, you know, we just couldn't get with it. We couldn't get with it. You know, they just had the wrong people up there saying the wrong shit. You know, for me personally, you know, and I can't get with it. And Minnesota is a different breed itself. You know, I grew up in New Mexico, an hour from the border of Mexico, on a farm. So very diverse culture, very diverse group of friends, you know, and that's why I can get along with so many people, and it drives a lot of people nuts that are very set in their ways in these small Minnesota towns, and they just, you know, they're I'm a shock, you know, I take people back, and it gets people triggered sometimes, but you know, I'm always gonna be me, you know, I try to keep it real, but sometimes, you know, even I get sucked into the political minutia where who knows if I'm even believing something. I'm getting triggered over some shit that might not even be true.
Dude,
You
100%.
know,
And
and
yeah,
I'm making content, spewing it, and it might go viral. And here we are.
yeah,
I've told 500 a million people some shit that maybe you know wasn't right, and that goes for everybody. The news is doing the same shit
yeah, yeah, 100%, man.
just to get that quick click, that quick like. Bing.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I stay away from the politics, right? That's why I stay away from
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you
Like,
do a good job of it.
the views and the likes are great, right? It's fucking great. But I don't know if I want that kind of attention, right?
No,
Where,
there's negative attention.
yeah, I see people, the kind of people that follow me, and there's a lot of people on both sides of the aisle that follow me, right?
Right.
And I see what they post. They post some shit, and they post, oh yeah, yeah, we fucking love the left, or we fucking love the right. And you know what? Like, that's cool. You know, there's a lot of videos that you post, and a lot of people that post political stuff that I actually like the video. I just can't click like because I don't want to see that, right? I don't want to see it pop up all the time, right?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, and you know, I'm friends with a lot of them, and I think, you know, I live in a pretty, you know, right-leaning province in Canada, and I
Sure.
work in the oil and gas industry, blue collar. I think it's pretty safe to say which way. It's obvious which way I vote, but you know, a lot of people, they don't need to, I'm a content creator. I bring the laughs. You don't need to
Right.
know my
Oh, I
political. You're not asking for my political fucking bullshit, right? You're just at
Mhm.
you come to me. You want to laugh? You got it. You come to me. You wanna know what I'm doing today, and you follow me on Snapchat or whatever on Facebook. Facebook, I post statuses and update my stories a lot. Shit, I
Mhm.
usually do on TikTok, right? All right. Well, what's he up to today? What's he joking around about on Facebook that he can't joke around about on TikTok? Okay, there it is. There, right? And one thing they don't see is, oh, I wonder which way Dick leans politically and how he feels about this, right? And I get a little bit into it on the podcast once in a while, but like I think I do a pretty good job, you know, steering in the right direction and explaining
Sure.
exactly. I'm middle of the road, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a time and place for a liberal government. I think there's a time and place for a conservative government. You can't have too much of one or the other, right? You
Right.
have to have that happy balance, right?
No
And
doubt.
depending where you're at in your economy and how the economy's doing, hey, if it's doing really, really, really good, and okay, we can be a little what more, you know, spend happy, trigger happy with the debit card, invite, you know, vote a liberal government in. But if times are tough, like they have been for fucking 20 years, right? Uh,
Mhm.
maybe it's time to reel that debit card in, save some money, and vote in a conservative government, right? And that's where I'm at. And not
Sure.
all conservative governments are good either, right? Like, you know, I'm looking at that and I'm seeing some conservative governments, and I'm like, no, maybe this is not the conservative government we were talking about, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
you can't always get your cake and eat it too, and these elected officials can't always please everybody either. You know what I mean? It's
100%.
in any capacity.
Look at COVID. We shit all over government officials during COVID, right? We shit
Yeah.
on, but the truth was, what was the truth during COVID, right? The truth was, no matter what they did, they were going to lose. There was no winning that. You couldn't come out a
Right.
winner during COVID, right? Like,
Right.
you either spent too much or you didn't spend enough, or you didn't make the right choice, or maybe you went
Yeah.
overboard on your policy making, and
Yeah.
oh fuck, now you pissed off half your population, right?
Right.
There was no winning COVID, man. Like
No.
definitely that was had to have been hard, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, sir. Have you caught any fish yet?
I haven't smacked any fish. It's been so slow, but it's the next like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week are supposed to be really good. Like I got an app, for this, and it tells
How do
me
you
the
know?
fishing efficiency. You know what I mean? And like basically just tells me if the fish are more inclined to be moving around, more active, whatever. But so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the efficiency is like 100%. So right
Okay.
now out here where I'm at after dark, it's really slow. It's a slow lake after dark, but in the morning. Actually, I just got a little mark though. I got a little mark coming up high, but that's a pretty good mark too. That's crazy.
Okay. What are some of the size of the fish that you can pull out of this lake?
I've caught big northern, really good northern crappie. Excuse me, big crappie. 15-inch crappie is my 14-inch. Excuse me, is my personal best,
Okay.
and 10-inch bluegills. All day, and then like 30 and a half inch northern I pulled out of here the other day. That's on a
Northern
hot
pike.
northern pike. Yeah, on a hot
That's
dog, man, with a tip up.
that's pretty
Man,
cool, man. I got a big 15-pound northern pike a few years ago up in northern Saskatchewan in Canada here.
that's awesome. Go ahead. I was talking to a neighbor today, first time out here, and he come out. He owns a little cabin out here, and he told me he caught a 20-pound northern
Wow.
last winter out here, and he's telling me about some bigger walleye that he's caught in here. I've caught a bunch of walleye, but nothing with real any size. But I wish I was getting them, man. That would have been really fun if I was getting them. I'm marking some, but they're just real finicky right now. I got some spring bobbers on here right now because I was tired of missing bites, and they just help you see the really soft bites. Like these panfish, that's kind of what I'm after right now. They
Yeah.
got a really soft bite. So
That's a good way to kind of relax and kind of mellow out while you're home on your injury too, right? Like
hundred
you take
percent,
one
and
beer, you unwind, and you just get into it mentally. You probably need
yeah.
that.
It is, dude. I told my fiance multiple times. I think fishing saved my life during this injury. I was already in a just and that seasonal depression's real, man. In the wintertime, the go to work, it's dark. You get off, it's dark, and you're grinding nonstop, trying to you
Yeah.
said it. It's been rough for 20 years. Well, at the same time, I was before I started rambling earlier. I was trying to make a point, and I'll do that. I've had a Captain and Coke times two here, so that helps get the comedy going sometimes too. But either way, what I was trying to get at is I haven't noticed a change since I started this shit. Really, granted, I went from non-union to the union, and my life did get better, 100%. For I mean,
Yeah.
it tenfold. It just was better as far as like in my capacity. For me, it was great, and a lot of other people, it works too. It doesn't work for everybody, but I haven't noticed a change just because of my work ethic and my quality and quantity. I've
Yeah.
always been able to maintain that pretty fucking steady employment. You know what I mean? It's a blessing. Not everybody can say the same thing, but that's why I'm just looking at these fucking elections and these people getting so fucking passionate and just wound up over this shit. At what capacity is it really gonna fucking change your day-to-day life, my guy or my gal? Like you're do they have that same energy for you every night when they go home? Are they thinking about making a TikTok for you or making like
Yeah.
I get guilty. I'm guilty of it too. You know what I mean? I gotta fucking remind myself sometimes though, like, you know what, I'm gonna go out and drill some holes and do some fishing, and I'm gonna put Facebook or TikTok down. That's a good there's a happy medium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything in moderation's good, even
Absolutely.
fentanyl. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard
Hey.
a podcast earlier. I was like, okay,
Oh, one of
you
mine.
had a comedian on there, yeah, and you were like, yeah, I tried fentanyl for the first time the other day. I broke my ankle, and it was I don't know how old the podcast was, but
Oh, that was last week's episode, and
okay,
yeah,
yeah, you
I
already
broke
forgot.
my
It must
ankle.
have been the fentanyl wiped out, just fucking Men in Blacked you, bro.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, that was last year, dude. Right? Like last. It's been exactly a year, like a week ago, right?
Ah,
I broke my ankle at work, right? And fucking yeah, man, they snowed me right out, dude. I was on ketamine and fentanyl, and holy shit, dude, like give me more. Like how do we
right.
bottle that shit, and give it to me like today, and that's fucking dangerous, man.
It is, yeah, it's a sad deal, man. That shit it's a sad deal.
I was not able to make content about my injury for the 5 or 6 months that I was off work. I was not allowed to make content about it, right? Because
Just
turns
because it
out
happened at work, or
the company I was working for was lying to people and telling them that I was in the shop doing light duty work the whole fucking time, just to avoid me not being
lost time injury.
just to avoid me not being a lost time injury, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they lied to their client about it. And every time I made a video about something, even hinting at it, or if I was on live on TikTok, I'd show my foot and I'd be like, let's let the dogs out for some air, right? And I show the foot and I'd unwrap it. I'd get a phone call almost immediately. Hey, can we not do that? Can we not do that? Right? And come to find
Wow.
out, there's a reason for that. They fucking lied. And I can say that now because they railroaded me. They treated me like shit afterwards. And yeah, man, they lied to me. They used my injury against me 3 times in writing, right? And
Unreal.
when I saw you making content of you live and fishing while you're in your cast there, I was like, wow, that's ballsy. How's he getting away with that? But come to learn, that's not a work injury. So
Yep, yep. Self-inflicted at home. Mm-hmm.
yeah, with an auger. You cut your finger off with an auger.
So yeah, I was spinning, drilling a hole, and I just kind of was laying down on the sucker, like, and I attribute it to mental health. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? Just having a fucked up week and just trying to go out and try to salvage some of it, you know, and do what I like doing, and
Yeah.
battling a shitty dull auger at the time, and just frustration got in the way of critical thinking, you know what I mean? And I reached down, grabbed it, tried to help it drill with my hand. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, you know, but it just twisted it and just snapped it in between my top
Oh,
joint and this joint. So that bone, right? I mean, it just snapped it. I mean, it was completely 90 degrees. You know, I took my glove off and I looked and I was like, oh, instant, couldn't feel it. Kind of like I listened to your podcast with the ankle. And there was no pain. I was just in shock. Immediately looked down, was like, oh, and out of shock, like that's not supposed to be like that. You know, just grabbed it and just straightened it out. And let go of it, and it went just crooked again. I mean, as soon as I let go, it just went. I was like, "What?" Like, because it kind of twisted it. You know,
yeah.
the tissue was kind of still had a little muscle memory or something. You know, and I straightened it out again and let go, and it was just kind of a little crooked after the second time. And then I just kind of held it, grabbed the auger, hopped on the 4-wheeler, ripped up to the house, and I get in the house and tell the fiance, I'm like, I gotta go to the hospital, you know, like she's like downstairs. I'm like in the living room, kind of laying on the floor because I'm about to faint, you know what I mean? I'm like
Yeah.
pain starting to kick in, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, fuck my thumb, you know. I'm like, it's busted. I gotta go to the hospital. She's like, no, whatever. She thought I was fucking with her, long story short. And
Yeah.
she finally, I had to like scream about, like, no, seriously, I got to go to the hospital. Like, my shit is busted off here. They're gonna have to reattach it, I think, you know, like, and I get up there. Yeah, I was in a splint for a few weeks. Went back, got surgery. So I got 3 pins in it right now. They're coming out on the 10th.
Dude,
They're coming out. They don't even put me to. They just pull them right out too in the office. Like they go
that's
all the way.
bro.
Unbelievable, man. I was in there for the. I went in after the splint and got this cast put on, and I had been ice fishing at up north, and I walked in my buddy's ice house and caught the splint. And it's just a cast basically with like ace bandage, you know, before they get the full hard cast. So
Yeah.
it's kind of it could kind of move on there, right? If you thump it good enough. Well, I got a pin straight down the top, like under my fingernail, essentially straight down, and then 2 kind of like an X. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
Holding it together to keep it straight. Well, that one that's on the end, that cast is hard on the end. And I was walking down the hallway and caught the edge of the wall. It's a tight little fish house camper, you know, and it hit that cast and it knocked that pin like an eighth of an inch further into my bone. So when I went to get the cast on, I did the X-ray, and I had taken it off because my fiance works in surgery, and I'm like, I took it off and rewrapped it, the splint, just to look at it. You know, after surgery, I had to look at it. It was killing me, you know.
Yeah, you got
Anyway,
it.
yeah. Anyway, I got a picture of it, and it's clearly an eighth inch out further, you know. And then after I hit it, when I took it off in that office visit to get the cast, it was like under my fingernail, you know. And I'm like, he's like, well, your fingernail grew. I'm like, I realize that, doc. I was like, but I hit it on the wall, you know. He's like, well, took an X-ray, and it was like almost, it was in further, you know. He didn't want to admit it, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was in there further. But I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, he grabbed it, twisted it, trimmed my fingernail in the office, twisted this pin, you know, and I'm like, didn't hurt, you know, a bit, but I'm like, I couldn't believe it. He just grabbed it. He's a trooper, man. Just a these doctors, man, just grabbing pins and twisting them like, ah, it's fine.
Yeah, as soon
Like,
as he grabs it, your other fist just balls up, and you just
yeah, just right in his nuts.
yeah, right in the nuts, bro. Fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
man.
doc.
When
Reaction.
I broke my ankle, like I'd say like the fucking geez, 6-7 months prior to me breaking my ankle, I was, I was having a rough go mentally, right? And it's funny because when I broke my ankle, I was coming out of that. I got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I was learning what caused that and how to deal with that, and learning about my triggers and how to best, come out of how to best deal with that shit, right? But for the 6 months, 7 months prior to that, dude, I was not even a human being, man. I disassociated. Remember that movie Click with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, with the remote where you can pause
Yeah,
it and shit.
man.
Yeah.
I feel
Adam
like
Sandler.
I feel like I had a
Oh
remote.
yeah.
I feel like I had a remote and I clicked it and I woke up the day that I got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and boof. It was actually just before that. Just before that, because there's a reason why I had to go to the doctor. I was like, I got to go to the doctor. Something's wrong, right? This is go
Sure.
to the and then, doing all that shit and whatnot. But before that, man, like I'd snap easy. I was irritable. I couldn't sleep. I wasn't sleeping well. Wasn't eating the greatest, right? Yeah, it was hard, dude. I was falling asleep at work a lot. I was waking up late. Like late for me, and I was getting to work with like 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to spare before the safety meeting, right? So there was that, and my boss even noticed it, man. He's like, "You're usually like here half hour early." He's like, "You're usually full of energy." I was still performing like I had gotten good sleep and eating properly, right? Which is what made the crash happen, right? Because fucking, I'm still performing. I eat a lot and I sleep a lot, right? To work the way I do, I need that, and to not get enough sleep and not eat properly and still putting out that effort, right? Yeah, that really fucked me up. And I told my wife this, man. It's like if something didn't change short when it did, probably within the last few months here, I probably would have had like a health episode where I might not be here today, right? I might have been dead, right? And whether that's a heart attack, it doesn't matter, dude. We're at that age now where I'm 37. I'm 37 now, man, and like stress and not eating properly, no exercise, bad sleep. I could very
Skip right over.
very prime. You know what I mean? Like, hey, the DNR, do not resuscitate, flat on, bro. You know what I mean? And that's scary, dude, to think that, if I didn't get the help I did when I needed it, we might not be having this conversation today, right?
Yeah, that's good you did.
Yeah, man.
A lot of guys don't, I recently after my divorce, I've even like, not just like, your physical health and shit too. Mental health's a big fucking deal, like, breaking down and just admitting like that you need to talk to somebody and like it's okay to do that shit, like that's what real grown ass men do, if there's anybody out there watching thinking, oh, I'm a pussy for that, real big boy grown men go and get the fucking help they need for themselves and for their families if you got a family. So don't only just do it for yourself, but do it for your family too. You know what I mean? If you're watching, and if you don't have a family, do it for your fucking dog or your cat or whoever, whatever. You do it for somebody. Yeah, your goldfish.
Yeah.
Do it for your neighbor or something.
For months before I got diagnosed, I had a nasty headache that just wouldn't go away, right? All the time. Just always had a headache. I was taking Tylenol a lot. I was taking a leave, just trying to get it to go away. The moment I opened up about I was feeling something, I'm not feeling great, and got diagnosed, the headache instantly went away. And I'm talking instantly.
That's
like
crazy.
The weight had been lifted, and I felt it all over my body, bro. And and I'm telling you, it was instant. It was instant, man. I instantly felt 900,000 times better, man. And that was talking, right? That was admitting like I'm having a problem. I'm having an issue. I need to talk to someone. And breaking down, man. And like, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of men, oh, if I talk, I'm a pussy. Well, no, bro. Like the manliest thing you could do is reach for a hand or take the hand that's reaching out to you. That is the manliest, because that is hard. That is hard to do as men. That's hard to talk. It's hard to ask for help, right? So when you do ask for help, that's that's some manly shit right there, you know. And I've never felt better. I've never felt more empowered since I've learned about what goes on in my brain. I've never felt more empowered, man. You know, when women put on a dress and high heels and they're wearing their spandex and they're fucking fucking doing whatever they're doing and they're like girl power and they feel like sexy and empowered.
Yeah, that's
When
you.
when I talked about my mental health, I felt like I just put on the sexiest laced up panties,
The
the
TikTok
very
leggings.
sexiest fuck yes, and the sexiest push up bra, and men were staring at me like they wanted to fuck me, dude. Like that's what I felt like, bro. You know, and I think that's what women feel like anyway. You know, like
Yeah, that's when you know.
that's when you
Yep.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what I
was,
tell. Yeah, that's what I tell all my buddies too. That the off topic, but when all your gay friends want to fuck you, that's when you know you're a good looking son of a bitch. You know what I mean? And all my gay friends definitely want to fuck. So if you guys ever watch this podcast, I know you gay guys want to do me,
hell yeah,
and
and
it's okay. It's okay, and I don't hold it against you. It's all love, okay? But
my
you're
brother's
never gonna.
My brother's gay, right? But he's only my half brother, so it's not weird that he wants to fuck me, right? Right?
It's not that weird. It's
Not
not
that
that
weird.
weird.
We have the same mom, but different dads.
Yeah,
We,
it's
you
not
know,
gay because it's your dog or whatever that movie. What the fuck? I don't
yeah,
know what movie that is. I don't know what movie that is,
30-year-old
but
virgin, I think.
yeah, is it? Yeah, okay. Thank you for knowing that it was a real movie because that would be like awkward if it was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
ever seen
never
that
seen
movie?
that.
Yeah. These guys talking about actually another part of that movie. They're talking about how like you ever see that show of that live show of a woman fucking a horse? You know,
Yeah.
like at first you kind of feel bad for her, right? And then you're watching it, she's just taking it, and then you start feeling bad for the horse. Shit, dude. Yeah, man. No, that's
100%.
fucking yeah, dude. And the podcast, man. Like I started the podcast to talk and whatnot, and it's turned into like, hey, man, like I'm very big on the mental health, right? Very big
Sure.
on mental
That's
health and
good.
blue collar in the trades, and we talk about it a lot. And because we talk about it a lot, it's kind of gained some the attention, I guess, of some people that are in the mental health field that have reached out to me on the internet and been like, hey, man, like we like
Mhm.
what you're doing. There's women that are psychologists. There's men that are like psychologists. There's a drilling consultant in the oil field here who sponsored the podcast last summer
Nice.
because he liked the mental health talk and he liked he wanted to know how we can get the men talking more, right? How do I get the crew talking more, right? He's like, you don't seem to have a problem with it. How do you do it? How do I get them going?
Mhm.
And we were having connection issues in some of the towns I work in and whatnot. He sponsored the podcast with a Starlink. And so now, wherever I go, I carry the Starlink. It's behind me here.
Sick.
Wherever I go, man, like I was on site the other night, zero cell service. I hooked up the Starlink, man. I put it in the window.
That's
Fucking
cool.
golden, bro. And
Dialed in.
yeah, so shout out to Tracy Chabot from CRM Resource Management, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, that's what makes this shit worth it too.
Yeah, man.
Putting I haven't had anybody paying my Wi-Fi bill, all right, Deep Frost, but but I've just had those type of messages from people, because I've inspired a lot of young men and women to get into the trade, whether it be union or not. Just my welding content alone. And I was gonna say that earlier. Sometimes the politics will actually I'll lose. You'll lose some following over getting a little too passionate. You know what I mean? And people get caught up, and then I lose that follower, right? I mean, I don't necessarily want to lose followers, but I'm gonna still stay true to myself. But there's a happy medium, with
Yeah,
everything. You gotta,
yeah.
and that's why I do these live fishing. I'm actually set up like this because I stream. I've been doing the streaming,
I've
with
seen
being
it.
broke up, busted up. Yeah, so but it helps bring people in here and see like, okay, this guy's not just an asshole. I like to take jabs on the stereotypes and the political stereotypes because it's fucking funny to me. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
it's funny to everybody that has a good sense of humor for the most part. And like, there's people that do get too caught up into it and think that that is my whole personality. Well, don't get it fucked up. Like that's not my person. My whole personality isn't just right wing conservative shit. Like I'm a, if they follow me and they know me, they know. But if they just get a little quick glimpse and they get triggered and throw one of them comments out there that makes them kind of look stupid,
yeah.
it's like, dude, get to know me. We come out
Well,
here and fish.
I've said that 100 times, right? Your content will build a following or build a following of haters, right?
And both. Yep.
The other. Your content will do that. But your live streams, man, like you can't tell who you are in a 30-second clip on a video.
100%.
You go live for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it
Yep.
is. That's where you build community, right?
100%.
I've had people say, "Hey, man, your videos, dude. I think you're a cocky, stereotypical oil field worker from Alberta.
Yep.
Right? I wear the shades. I change my voice for the video sometimes when I do talk." When I do talk and I don't do sounds, I do change my voice a little bit to sound a little douchey. And
Sure. Sure.
And the shades. I mean, I joke around, like that. And people have said, "Man, I thought you were the typical oil field douchebag from Alberta," but it's like getting to know you. That's not who you are at all. And I'm like, yeah, man. Before those glasses reached out to me and was like, "Hey, want to get paid to rock these glasses? And here's a code and shit."
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't wear them. Right.
Right.
I didn't have the mustache before the content, right? I was baby faced, dude, right? Like I'd have a little fuzz here and there and maybe a little one, but like, not just right here, but
yeah.
Right. But like, when I started the content, okay, if I'm going to do this, go all in, right? Get the douchebag mustache, get the glasses, fucking talk like that. And so, but then you go live, right? And then you got a podcast. We got 166 episodes, 167 episodes now, right? Where that's where you build your community, right? That's where you let people get to know you, right? And that's huge, man. That's everything. You build your following when you do that. Yeah. I'd rather have a million people watch a video and half of them are just like, fuck this guy. Or you go live and you have 50 people in there that fuck with you. Who would you rather see yourself?
Right. 100%. And then you could throw some products in that live too, for the people that are on a shopping spree.
Hey, link in bio, smash that link, Yeah.
Check it out, guys. If you like this hat, it's in the link in the link tree. Just kidding. No. But yeah, really, 100%. It's fun. I like it. I love TikTok, and I like making content. I don't know how long I've been doing it now. I feel like I've been doing it for. I don't know. I feel like I remember when I was following you with my first funny fitter account, like my bigger the good account that I had. I wish I deleted it. Didn't even get it. Didn't even like. Oh, it just kills me on the inside knowing that I just had that larger file. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I feel like your videos will get the push. It doesn't matter if you got 30 people or not. Your videos will push the same way.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have that following of, 80,000 people that, will like and share your shit, But now I found it's a lot harder since the little merge of TikTok. I think it's been a little different. I think there's more business and more money driven now than it was before, here, let's promote your shit. Like, I don't need to promote it. I've gotten millions of views on one video. Why would I fucking pay you to promote my video, TikTok? Well, it's a lot more of that now going on since the shutdown and then they reopened it. I don't know. And maybe get your tinfoil hat out. We could do another podcast on that. I grew up in New Mexico, right by the Air Force Base and blew up the first atom bomb out there. And
what was that show? What was that? There was the X-Files, but there was another one.
I don't know. The X-Files. Breaking Bad? No.
No. X-Files was about, like aliens and shit like that. There was another show and I can't remember what it was called, man. It was shows about aliens, dude. I can't remember. I don't even know where my phone is right now. Oh, it's right here.
Ancient Aliens?
No.
Aliens.
It had like a person's name or some shit. Like I watched a little bit of it. The X-Files was kind of scary. Fuck. I don't know, man. Fuck. Yeah, dude. So how long you been fighting for? You said 16, 18 years, something like that?
So I'm 36. I started right when I turned 18. So my dad got me into the trade. He was a union pipe fitter, welded on nukes his whole career.
Well, nukes?
Nuclear power plants. I've welded on one nuke. We can get into that too. But yeah, so my dad got me into welding. He used to teach it at a youth authority in California. And then taught at the Union Hall, worked for the 469, which is out of Tucson, Arizona. And then they got absorbed by Phoenix, Arizona. Now it's just one big local union. But anyway, he got me into it as soon as he went to prison for murder.
Your dad
And
did.
yeah, he did. He went to prison
Yeah.
for murder.
You know
Yeah,
what?
right. I mean,
Sometimes I wish a motherfucker would step up. You know,
yeah, man, it
I
was a
want to
fucked
be
up deal.
3 square meals a day,
Right.
all the food and sex he can handle, bro. Come on.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, right. Just ask any of them. Yeah, he fucking, he turned himself in and did 8 years. And as soon as he got out, I was like graduating from high school. I would have been graduating from high school if I wouldn't have got my GED. You know what I mean? I was working on a pecan orchard in New Mexico, and he got me into the trade. He came home and see I was on my way to either probably prison or death, and was like, "We're getting the fuck out of here." Started traveling with him. Got into a union, and actually I didn't get right into a union. I started linked up with some people just because my dad kind of had taught me how to weld. Uh, got into a non-union shop essentially after like 6 months of being a helper. I took a pipe test, passed their journeyman, pipe test at that point. You know what I mean? It was getting good money for, non-union. Wasn't getting the bennies and shit, but I was getting the per diem and the good money for, 4 years, something like that. And then
Oh yeah.
realized, hey, fuck, I could get a better deal over here through the union just because my dad and my grandpa, my mom's dad was a union insulator. So my dad's uh, his first marriage, his father-in-law was the business manager down in Tucson. So a lot of history there. I mean, we've been in union before it was cool to be union, and hashtags and shit like that. You know what I mean? Where people get a lot caught up, yeah, the union, non-union banter. Gets
Yeah.
We've been cool way before the hashtags, boys and girls. But so yeah, he got me into it at 18 and jumped on an ethanol plant, my first job, and I was welding thin wall stainless steel TIG welding. Fuck, after that job, it was the rear view mirror, man. Just one, ethanol plant here, a crystal sugar beet plant up in North Dakota. Go up to East Grand Forks, North Dakota. Go up to Drayton, North Dakota. Go down to Lexington, Nebraska. And do a power plant, do an ethanol plant there. I did a lot of ethanol plants, a lot of thin wall stainless cooling water, for ethanol plants, and then started getting more into the power plants. Once I got into the union, I got into a lot more heavier industrial shit, honestly.
It's cool.
Just more, quality shit. You know what I mean? I had learned the right way to do stuff because of my dad, though. You know what I mean? So I fit right in, and I could pretty much write my own ticket. People watching this shit that don't like me are gonna go, "Fuck it, yeah, write your own ticket, yeah, write my own ticket." Remember it. Skill set, boys and girls. All right, I'm not a one-trick pony. Don't be a one-trick pony.
No,
Fucking be employable, show up fucking on time, and people watching will laugh at that because I haven't always been that guy, but it takes some time sometimes to find that happy medium, right, of work and play, treating your body right so you can work, you know. You gotta fucking
man,
do all those things, and if you don't, you will fail in this industry.
I wish 20-year-old me would have known there'd be an almost 40-year-old me. You know what I mean? I didn't
Right,
account for that.
right, right.
Account for that. Fuck, man. When I was 18, I didn't account for there fucking being a life after high school. Like,
No shit.
yeah, man. Fucking, dude, I gotta know. I gotta know, bro. And you don't have to tell me. What did your dad do? Like,
Yeah, I mean, just shot a guy that was robbing our farm, and
oh,
then turned himself in. Yeah,
fuck. In
yeah.
Canada,
Actually, he was trying to get the guy to leave.
bro, in
Uh,
Canada, if you're on a farm, if you're here in Saskatchewan or Alberta, and someone's robbing your farm, you shoot that guy. That's celebrated. You're a fucking hero.
right, right. Yeah, if it would have happened in Texas, he might not even be sitting here talking to you. Dick Frost. I might have been a college boy or something. With dad's foot in my ass. I don't know. Who knows? Because that
Yeah,
was the narrative back then.
yeah,
Yeah, when he went away, you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, go to school, get a, like the American dream, the blue collar shit was kind of out the window, and now it's coming back, baby. It's coming back because we fucking need it. And I'm really gonna start doing this shit. And I'm trying to get the union halls, not union halls, but them too, but the organizers in my area for the unions to start doing like helping me get the right people involved so we can do these heavy industrial like readiness clinics for these kids, juniors and seniors. Let me get them a welding 1, welding 2, or any kind of clinic. I can't call it a school because of the union shit. You know what I mean? I got to be careful how I word things and
make it
what
sound like
type
a
of
clinic.
training.
Yes.
we're not certifying anybody to any standards. We're just readiness, you know what I mean? And then making
Call
sure that
it,
we get to pick the guys that are going to be good, you know?
yeah,
It'll be
call it a clinic, right? And then you can get the guys that think they might be sleeping around on the road, right? Go in and get
yeah.
syphilis or some shit, bro. And ladies, the sleeping around on the road, it happens, but it happens even if you work at home. Okay.
It does a lot.
Guys on the road are not as bad as you think they are, ladies. It happens whether or not you're on the road or not. And,
Right?
those guys 20 years ago, guys that were whoring around and doing drugs and shit like that, they might have been part of the cool kids club. But these days, they're not looked at that way, right? We don't
No,
look at
no.
we actually, as the guys who are happily married on site with a family that, don't want that bad reputation. We
Yeah.
actually don't want nothing to do with those guys, right? They're not the cool kids anymore. It's not
Yeah,
celebrated.
yeah, 100%, 100%. I've lived it too, and then realized at a young age that, oh, that's not cool, to
Yeah.
be a piece of shit. Wow. Looking back, there's times that I've, acted out of character, you know what I mean? When growing up and learning the fucking hard way. And I look at some of my, some guys are just born with that great, or that just came from a great family too and had that guidance and shit that's everything. You know what I mean? Not having it, being self-taught, you got to learn a lot of things the hard way. And then
Man, there's a lot of
somebody
lessons to learn, right? Not
lot
just food, not just finances. There's a lot of lessons to learn out on the job site, man.
fuck
There's a lot of
yeah.
lessons out there.
And that's the way I am. That's why I lean the way I do. You just said it too, because I've lived it and I've used experience to make my decisions. I
Yep.
haven't let anybody make my decisions for me. I live it and I make decisions based on how my life is actually going and and what's going to help me in life. People sit and watch this too and think, oh, yeah, whatever, you're voting against your interests, blah, blah, if we want to get into the left right bullshit, but put that aside and say it again, it's the same thing. I mean,
Yep.
it's still, it means the same thing.
Yeah,
Doesn't
man.
matter.
I know, shit that I've learned out on site and my years on work. I've been 16 years in the oil field. Started roofing when I was 11 for my dad till I was 18, weekends,
Yeah.
holidays, shit like that. I know, my wife's like, how come you're not more stressed out about this? This is chaotic, right? Things that are happening around the house or in our life. I'm like, listen, babe, you have no idea what goes on site during the day, right? I live for the unexpected, right? If it can go wrong, it's gonna go wrong, and I gotta be cool with it. I can't lose my shit, and then I'm preparing. I'm always like 4 or 5 steps ahead. I'm always okay. Well, if we go this way, if we do this, this could happen along the way. So let's set up things or steps for when if we're doing it this way. Let's set up things that we're gonna run into. Well, like how come you're so organized like that, man? I'm 37. I have been going since I was 11 years old. So let's say yeah. So 30 years, about 20 years, whatever it's been, of living my life where I always got to be one step ahead on the job, right? I always got to be, I got to expect the unexpected and go with the punches and go with the
Hmm.
flow, and not be upset about it, right? And my wife fucking hates that. She's just like, I want to be upset about this right now. I gotta get upset. It's like, no, listen, that just makes everything worse. That just turns everything to shit, right? Just
Hmm.
life comes at you fast. Learn to accept what's coming at you and roll with that. We can evolve pretty quickly. I've taught my wife how to evolve pretty quickly at home. And that's all coming from shit we've learned on site, right?
Yeah, no, you can bring a lot of that shit home.
Hell
And
yeah,
the negative stuff too, you got to leave that at work. But
gotta
yeah,
leave it
there's
work.
yeah, you got to leave work at work. But yeah, there's shit that you can bring home that helps you.
Hell
This
yeah,
manage stress, right? The stressful environment for sure. Yeah, and the heavy industrial industry, you get it too. I mean, in refineries, and that's where I spend a lot of my time in like a refinery right now, and not banged up obviously, but
yeah.
in the last couple years I spent a lot of time in one of the bigger refineries in St. Paul, and yeah, people get so wound up out there, and that's why they like me out there, I think. And again, there's guys that don't like me out there, but those guys don't matter. The guys that matter, like me, and it's, you go out there and it's like it's so easy to just keep calm in that environment after so
Oh,
many years of just you doing shit and fixing shit and the piping industry. Yeah, like I mean, there's just a lot of once you've done something for so many years, you're 37, you got a year on me. So, a lot of it's work ethic, being coachable, not fucking pretending to know everything, right?
Yep.
You know, I'm in super.
Still learning
I've
every
been in. Yeah, right. I've been in supervision a lot since 2018 on like some of the like fucking the biggest rebuild on a refinery that exploded in Superior, Wisconsin.
shit.
Um, uh, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to get clout or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I've been around, I've done a lot of this shit, and I don't know what the hell I was trying. I was trying to make a point here, and I just lost my train. Thank you, Captain Coke, you son of a bitch.
About fucking about keeping calm under pressure and shit like that.
Yes, yes, yes. And then just the management side of shit, you know, like having all kinds of different people from different walks of life. And it goes back to the way I grew up and being around all kinds of different people. You know what I mean? Like, it's perfect, man. To like, and you know, there's the guys out there that'll be quick to maybe shit can a guy because he ain't worth the shit. Well, you just can't find something that he's good at, maybe. You know what I mean? And just it's all about placement, man. I could take some of the
Yeah.
worst guys on the job, allegedly, and
Yep.
just be killing it. You know?
Yep.
Just if you like the way that I work, well, give me 5 or 6 guys, and I'll have them working like me. You know?
Yep.
It's it,
Less criticism and more coaching.
100%, and then just having fun with that. There's a happy medium. I'm guilty of fucking getting a little too chummy and too, like, okay, listen, guys,
Mm.
we got to go out and get the shit done. Okay, don't
Yeah.
make me be an asshole. Like, get the fuck out of the van. Let's go out here and do this bolt up, or let's go do whatever. You know, I know it's shitty weather. I know it's cold. I'll be here in the van. I'll keep it warm. Get the fuck out. No.
Yeah, fuck, dude. But it's a lot like that though, right? Like, less coaching, less criticism, more coaching is something I've had to even like work through myself, right? Like,
Sure.
we have this guy that I work with in the summertime, and you know what we found? He's worked with us for 5, 6 years, and everyone just shits on him all the time because he's lazy, or so we thought, right?
Right.
Well, no, we have like 10 different fucking jobs that we do during the day, right? If this guy, this guy's been lazy, you telling me you've had this guy on the same job, doing the same task for 2 years and he's lazy at it? Well, okay, how about we try putting him somewhere else, right? How about we
Right.
give him a different
Mix
task?
it up a little for him.
We did. We gave him another task, and the guy's fucking best kind, man. He fucking just absolute rock star. And it wasn't that he needed to lose his job. He just needed to change the scenery on the job, right?
That's why I drag up and go to
Yeah.
new jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And that was really cool to see, man. Actually, this whole time I thought this guy was just fucking useless. Turns out he's not useless. He just was in the wrong position, right?
Yeah,
Like, well, it
that's
was.
it.
Yeah, man.
Or
Yeah.
somebody was just fucking his day up too, you know, just coming in and just treating him like shit, you know, like is he like, you know, just assuming that a guy doesn't know something too. That's what I was gonna get at. Is I like to take a group of guys and get there might be 100 years of fucking work experience right there sitting in front of you. You know, I'll lean on my guys. Fuck, there's times where I hadn't had a fucking clue what the fuck was going on, and I just kind of leaned on the experience and we all made it happen together. You know, I'm like I made sure everybody had the shit they needed, the material and the information, right? And then we you know made shit happen. You know, but that's fewer and further between when you get in your 30s and shit, and you've been doing this that long. You
Yeah.
know, but and the workforce is depleted. It is though.
Let's
It
talk
is.
about that for a reason and why it's depleted.
Why is it depleted?
Let's talk about it. Why do you think it's depleted? I know
Fuck,
why it's depleted.
because the lack of fucking interest. Kids don't wake up and want to do anything. They're entitled.
Is
They
it
wake up.
entitlement?
I don't know. I don't know. What's the word?
Well, for years, us growing up, we're the same age. For us growing up, right? What was the rhetoric? What was the narrative growing up? It was one day the boomers are going to start retiring, and then there's going to be a huge shortage, right? And we just laughed it off. And the boomers wouldn't retire for a long time, but what are they doing in droves now? They're retiring. They're tired.
Yeah,
They're old.
majority of the workforce. Yeah.
Then you got us, the millennials, right? And what were we told? We were told by the boomers, work your ass off, put your nose to the grind, don't just ask questions, grind it out, go home to your family and do all this, follow this path, and your life will be easy. Well, I don't know about you, bud, but for millennials, right? We followed that fucking blueprint, and it's been anything but that, right? And
Inflation.
it's not, the company doesn't care about you no more. They don't take care of you. I mean, you're a union, maybe they do, but
Well, they're forced to.
They're forced to.
It's not
They're
because they want
forced.
to.
They're forced, exactly, man. And now
Yeah.
you got the Gen Z coming up behind us. And what are we telling them? We've been telling the same thing the boomers told us. The narrative's starting to change a little bit. We're starting to be like, oh, maybe they got it right. But they're seeing that, oh, the millennials, they followed the blueprint and it didn't fucking work. Right? So why am I gonna grind it out, work my fucking ass off, work
Yeah.
somewhere I don't want to work for
Right.
nothing? Right? Money and money isn't everything to these kids now. They don't give a fuck about money, right? They want respect. They want days off. They want to be treated like a person, right? And you know, that's where they're at with that, man, you know, and
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of entitlement there sometimes, but like for the most part, it's the blueprint didn't work for the generation ahead of me. Why is
Yeah.
for me?
For
They
some
found
of
ways
them.
to make money online. They found ways to make money
That's what
playing.
I was gonna say. Yeah, these guys are looking at some of them. They gotta bite the bullet though.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be an internet sensation. You're not gonna. You
Yeah.
might have to be a pipe fitter. Like you're not gonna be a D1 athlete. You're gonna have to focus on
Yeah.
reality here pretty quick, you know. But yeah, I get. I mean, you definitely. Maybe it's not 100% entitlement. I think some parents create that entitlement too, like without not with just not being more, you know, blue collar even, you know, just like just more hands on with your kids and cut the leash a little bit too. Some of these fucking parents, man. I went to, I'm not gonna say no names, but I went to somebody's house to drop one of my boys off, and I was walking in their garage, and it was like, use this hand sanitizer and take your shoes off, and like before you even come in, like on the fucking garage door, and I'm just like, me and my fiance were laughing our asses off about it, you know, because we know the gal, you know what I mean? Like, wish she would have that shit on her garage, you know? And it's just like, I feel bad for them children, man, because them boys are not going to be, they're not going to grow up, you know, they got a good dad. They got a good dad. So he could save them probably. They're split up family, you know, but
Yeah.
it's like, they're good kids. They come from, they have no, they're going to be just fine, but it just in this, they're just not going to have, they're going to be very naive. They're not
Yeah.
going to have that grit, you know, that the way I grew up, I have a lot of that shit. And my fiance now, and even my ex-wife helped not have so much of that put onto my kids, but just the right amount where these guys know that we're not living in a fucking fairy tale. You know what I mean? Like you got to go out and get,
Yeah.
you got to go out there and get it. Nobody's going to give you shit. You know, like if I was some I'd love to create some generational wealth and help you out, but it probably ain't going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
know what I'm saying?
generational money over here.
if you
got that, your knees and your back gonna give out before it's time money, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I hear that, man. No, well, you know, my kids, man, they see it. They watch my videos, right? They see my pictures and when I post other places and shit like that. And that's part of the reason why I do it, right? You know, I made the videos at first to make me laugh, and then I made other people laugh. But then it turned into like I didn't know what my dad did at work, right? All day. I didn't know what my grandfather did at work all day, right? There was no documentation. They went to work.
Right.
It was a fucking mystery, right? Well, you know, what do I do all day at work? I show it. I'm in a vac truck. I drive it around. We drive it around. I get really fucking dirty. I sacrifice a lot of hours of my day. Like I could be on site for 30 hours, 40 hours, 20 hours, 10 hours, looking 4 hours. I'm on call 24/7. And I do that for my kids. And my kids see that, right? And my wife gets to be a stay-at-home mom. And in this day and age, that's fucking hard. You know, like she my kids, they'll even my kids are all in my kids are both in school right now. They go school all day full time. But my wife, just because the kids are in school, the work doesn't stop, right? You know, my kids are sick. She's got to be the designated parent, right? So, and it happens a lot where my kids are like, hey, my daughter, she soiled her pants a few weeks ago. Well, if my wife had a job and was at work, she'd have to leave that job, going and whatnot, and go get clean clothes, right? Now, kids are at school full time. She does have a little bit more time to herself during the day, but it's very short lived. There's other shit to do. There's clean the house. There's fucking get dinner ready. There's fucking take care of the bills. And you know, my wife gets to be a stay-at-home mom, and I think that's invaluable.
Yeah, I've with the first marriage, I kind of went through it a little bit. She was a surgical tech and worked off and on. It's funny, my current stitch is a surgical tech. You know what I mean? My fiance now, and same thing. They both got good work ethic, you know, but just one just, you know, should have been on one of those 9/11 planes, you know, I think.
Oh,
But
shit.
We're just gonna keep going.
I like
Anyway.
it. I like it. Oh man, no one ever throws out 9/11 humor on the podcast,
Yeah.
bro. I
Right.
like
Right. Right. Yep.
it, bro.
Yep.
Man, I
Oh man.
have a lot of 9/11 humor. Like fucking. There was a good video I saw the other day. I sent it to my wife, and it's like, show me something your kids will only learn about in history books, right? And it's just two towers exploding, right? It's like it's really funny. It was like, yeah, man, fucking yeah. Well, we made one school shooting joke on a podcast before, dude, and we had to take it out. And fucking, it almost got used against us, like
Oh
by
my god.
by someone that was in the podcast that didn't. He laughed along with it, but he got mad at us, right? He got mad at us, so he had that part saved, and he was gonna use it against two of the guys, right? And
Jeez.
we took it out for a reason, right? We took it out. We're like, we can't put this in here, right? We gotta edit
Sure.
that, right? And I don't try not to edit that kind of shit out now, but like what that guy was showing basically was that he can't be trusted to have private conversations, and we took it out for a reason. So we already took ownership of our issue, right?
Right.
So fuck him,
Fuck him.
fuck him.
Douchebag.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. 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 It's tough, man. Too to TikTok and the guidelines with my mouth and the shit. You got to do your research before you fuck around and lose an account. You know what I mean? Like I know I got banned the other day for saying retard. You know what I mean?
Man,
And it's
shout out
like
to millennials and letting that and refusing to let that word die. I fucking love the word retard, dude.
right.
Retard and calling things gay. That is my fucking wheelhouse,
I mean, stop being so fucking gay, Dick.
Stop
You're
being so
getting gay, dude.
retarded. Stop
You
being
gay fucking retard. Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck?
what the fuck,
Like,
bro?
stop being a fucking fag. Like, we can't say that, but
Whoa,
yeah, no, like, yeah, right.
word, but
That was a good.
my
Did you
brother,
see that dude? That dude has a fucking. It's a comedian that does a bit on it. He's like, man, what the fuck happened to the word faggot? And it's like,
oh
and
yeah,
he just kind of goes on, and he's like, stop being, and it's just like gay and retard. It's the same shit. Like, yeah, I know a lot of gay guys, and I got a lot of gay friends.
my
And
brother's
I got a lot of straight friends that are being really gay right now, like
yeah, and I work in an industry where we're all retarded every day,
and
like,
gay.
yeah, and gay, man. You ain't
Like
ever met a more
you
gay group of people than a straight work site full of men that like women.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You know what I
Just
mean?
testing each other's gay like
Just testing
Marines.
each other's gayness. Yesterday, I think it was last night, I was out on site and I tripped over something that was on top of a rig tank, and I kind of fell forward into another guy, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, dude." He's like, "That's okay, man. Let's reenact that again, and this time we'll land on each other's lips." And so I'm like, "Okay." So I fucking backed up, and we went to go do it, and my coworker was standing there watching. He's just shaking his head. He's like, "That's so gay." Right? Like,
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
yeah,
Just fucking
what movie is
disappointed.
that from?
Happy
Fucking
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna die, clown!" And he fucking knocks the fucking nose off the clown at the putt deal, and then that guy's just standing there like, just shaking his head. It's the same guy that he's like, Grizzly Adams did have the same guy. He pops up in cameos all throughout the movie. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man.
It's
No,
good shit.
fuck, I love that, dude. Yeah, it's like using those words is great. Like fucking stop being retarded.
Right. It
Yeah.
sucks. It sucks getting banned for saying it, especially when in the context that I said it, like a guy came into my live and was like, "Oh, you're a fucking," like spam my live with like the most ignorant shit like you could. I mean, I don't even want to fucking repeat it. You know what I mean? But just like some ignorant shit to spew into my live, and I'm just like, wow, dude, you're fucking retarded. You know what I mean? 2 minutes, dude, my shit was taken down. And
That
the
happened
week
though.
the week before I had got a fucking 3-day ban, and then they fuck for saying the same shit, and I'm like, fuck, I'm like, TikTok, don't do this to me. I know you motherfuckers about to take me down for that, but I'm like, look into the context of this shit. Like, I'm not sitting here calling a handicapped kid a fucking retard. Like, I'm calling some asshole a fucking retard for saying some dumb shit, like in my life, like spewing defamation, slander, fucking whatever you want to call it. You could come into my live and do that, fuck with my livelihood if I retaliate. I'm gonna lose something. Like you said, I create shit that make people laugh, that people share and they like it, and it fucking
Yeah.
bothers you. So you want to come in here and fuck up my shit? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck
You
out
know,
of
you
here.
know how like when we're live and people comment and you tend to read comments out loud.
That'll
A
bite you in
lot
the
of people
ass.
come in and try to like, hey, you've seen
Yeah.
your Negro, right? But have you ever seen your Negro, right? And like, and I'm starting to read it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta
Yeah,
watch.
gotta ban you. Gotta ban. I mean, I like a little bit of the and I'm like, when I'm banning and blocking people and shit. Sometimes I'm like, probably a funny dude, probably a good dude, but like, I can't fuck with you in here, like, cause you're gonna fuck with my stream. You're like my
Yep,
opportunity to have a voice out here. You're
yep.
gonna fuck it up,
I got
and
banned.
I don't appreciate it. So if people are listening to this, I don't appreciate that shit. So don't come into the Funny Fitters live trying to troll me. You'll get blocked, and you'll have to go create a new account with a new email and come back,
Yeah.
and I'll still be the same face standing behind my shit.
Yep. I was live a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and someone came in and said something, and I'm like, "Can you believe what this guy just said?" And my wife's like, "I think I was here," and I'm like, "Fuck, that's kind of stupid, right?" And I got instantly, boom, gone, right? I'm like, "What the fuck?" I appealed it, and then I got logged off and went on my other account. My wife came back and she's like, "I just got an email. Your appeal's been won, right?" So
Okay,
I
good.
didn't say shit. I didn't say shit. It was something the other person said, and I just reacted, right? And
Right.
and man, one time I went to get up, I was live on the floor, and I went to go get up. I was bent over, and you saw a part of my like hip, like my shirt rode up a bit. I got banned for nudity. I'm like, what the fuck is
Appeal
this?
it and win, though.
Yeah, for a week. I didn't win that one.
Crazy. Yeah, I hate that kind of shit. Yeah, I've been very discouraged, like, because I feel like sometimes, like, they'll let me sit here and say I had a video and it was like, um what the fuck was it? It was during COVID, and it went 1.2 million views like overnight on my old account. I was down in Florida, Cape Coral, Florida, right in the backyard swimming pool. Just take a video. I'm like, the Democrats are like, let's shut down the country and then reopen it, and we'll call it creating jobs. I'm like, with a Miller Lite, I'm like, stupid fucks. And that's the kind of shit they'll let me. I basically called Democrats stupid fucks, right? Essentially, in the video, they'll let that shit go for 1.2 million views, and I guarantee there's hundreds, maybe thousands of people that fucking reported the video, right?
Yeah,
Maybe not. They'll let it go. Never an issue. But if you slip up and you say one little fucking thing, and their AI takes it down essentially, and then you got to appeal it and have a real person look at it. I'm just like, I don't. I feel like sometimes they really they lean one way on the platform for sure, and it's tough. It's tough
100%.
if you don't fit their narrative. Like my content, if it's not within my niche, they don't push my shit. Like this video here, me being Casey, getting to see the real person that I am, wouldn't get pushed. You know what I mean? They want that extreme right, union, conservative, pipe fitter, gritty shit. They
Because
don't
they
want
want
nothing.
to create a class war. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They'll post your videos. They'll create friction on the internet with the other
Yep.
side. That's what they
Yeah.
want.
If I share, I will say that if you're neutral, you can do pretty well getting
Yeah,
your videos pushed. Like if you're putting out good, like my welding content, I've always had really good
yeah.
feedback, mainly because people. I have a couple people come in and try to say some dumb shit. I'm just like, dude, I've welded on nuclear power plants. Like I've been doing this shit for a lot of years. Like you're not gonna come in. I don't get the hate very often because I'm
Yeah.
giving real life knowledge and it's actually helping people. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny to me when people want to come in and try to hate just because they're like jealous or they're fucking whatever it may be. It's just unbelievable sometimes.
I made a
Just
video 5 years ago, 5 years ago, 3, 4. I'm gonna say 4 to 5 years ago. I made a video. It was
sure.
political. It was funny. It was a joke, right?
Right.
Your political video was, and it was this guy and this girl, this couple. They were wearing a mask outside. It was during COVID, so it was like 5 years ago, or whatever. So fucking, they were wearing a mask out in public, and they're like, wore a mask outside today, so no one mistakes us as Republicans, right? And I thought that was funny, so I
Yeah.
stitched it. And I'm at work and I'm in my gear and I'm like, showed up to work today, so no one confused me as a liberal, right? And they got 2 million views on it, right? That was
Yeah.
it was funny, but they got all the likes, and then all the hate, and then
The hate comes with it.
yeah, everything that comes with it, man. I watched it work its way through the algorithm. It was kind of funny, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some pretty negative ones. Yeah, the stitches. I had a video go for 600,000 views. It was literally in like a couple hours. And it was like when the ex-founder of Netflix had donated some money to Kamala Harris. And I made a video. Oh my God, it was not well received by the black community. You know what I mean? And I fucking I you know all my really good friends were calling me and like man, bro, like you gotta chill with that shit, bro. Like, hey, listen, like I'm not. It's who I am. Like, I think I called Kamala a bitch a bunch in the video. I'm like, how is this bitch the front runner? This and that. And like they're like, oh, how are you gonna talk about like black women and shit like that? I'm like, I'm not. It's not a black white thing for me. You know what I'm saying? I just fully believe that she's not qualified. You know what I mean? Sorry. That's where I'm at with it. Like, don't turn this shit into a. But I mean, it was 600,000 people, and it was like TikTok pushed that video to that fucking crowd
Yep.
and leaves it up. You know what I mean? Because it puts me in danger. Essentially, I mean, it puts me in fucking danger because you got a lot of people that are uneducated seeing this shit, or they're just getting a fucking glimpse and they're interpreting me as a fucking racist piece of shit when I'm just a fucking regular dude that just don't like the bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I think Hillary Clinton was a bitch, and I throw that word around because I can't name them all individually, but fucking it is what it is. It has nothing to fucking do with the race baiting bullshit. I can't stand it. I can't stand the race baiting shit. And I got buddies that jump into my lives, acquaintances from TikTok, and that try to pull that shit just to trigger me, and I'm like, get out of here with that. We're not doing the race baiting. Everybody's got a fair shot. Go out there and grind. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear this shit.
You ever get in trouble from the union or anything like that from the videos you post?
No.
No, that's good. That's good.
No. Yeah, there's
in 6 years I've had to take 3 videos down, which is not too bad.
Yeah, I've never had anybody from the UA reach out to. Matter of fact, I've got some really. I mean, I know a lot of people. All the way from the top down. I think you know what I mean. That I've just met over the years. You know what I mean. Like the friend of mine that helped me move from Des Moines, local 33, up to 455. His father-in-law was William P. Height. You know what I mean? And I met him through another friend, just kind of networking. And William P. Height was the general president of the United Association before General Tom McManus took over. But so anyway, he had a little stroke, and they started these welding clinics, and just networking I was able to kind of again write my own ticket, just come, show up, show them what I could do, and didn't feel like I got a fair shake down in 33, and reached out to him. And so it's good to know people, you know what I mean, and have those connections. But those guys all support what I'm doing. I've actually been in contact with the Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas City pipe trades main organizers, trying to go about doing my high school welding clinics and like readiness courses the right way.
Awesome.
So they respect me for that. And I've met all these guys few years back before I went up to Superior on that rebuild. The Synovus is a Canadian company, I think.
Yeah, we got
yeah, they bought it. Yeah, so they ended up buying that thing. But God, this heater, I can't find a happy medium. That's what I'm fucking with back here. But what was I saying, Dick? God damn it.
So you were talking about Synovus and how it was bought out. They bought something. Synovus bought something down there.
I don't know. I was trying to make a point again, but I just lost it. But it was going to be a really great point, really big, beautiful point. But I forgot it.
The best the world's ever seen.
Right. We love Canada.
You want to be
my favorite Canadian is Wayne Gretzky. Fucking guy's crazy.
Yeah, do you know what viscosity is?
Viscosity? Yeah, like oil thickness.
Yeah, like the thickness of fluid shit. Yeah.
Yes.
The podcast is sponsored by the Mudman, right? And the Mudman's like our OG sponsor. And like he sponsored the podcast way back on like episode 14. You know, we needed a headset and a mic badly. And he was there for us for that. And then 2 summers ago, he came out of nowhere, swooped in like I was Cinderella and he was fucking Prince Charming and I was a damsel in distress. And we couldn't edit. We couldn't edit worth shit. We couldn't do nothing. And I was doing the whole podcast off my phone. And if I got a phone call, it would fuck it right up. And he donated the MacBook Pro here to the podcast. He's like, "Yeah, man,
Nice.
MacBook Pro." So he bought me a brand new MacBook Pro, and yeah, man, it's been a good time, man. I love this thing. It's great, and it gets me off the phone, and doesn't fuck up the podcast as much. And yeah,
Very nice.
yeah,
Shout
man.
out to the sponsors. Come on.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Mudman for all your drilling fluid
The
and laboratory
Mudman.
testing equipment needs. He deals in the thickness of your load.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
so hot.
How thick is your load as a man in the mid-30s? We know. Come on.
The viscosity it's up there. It's in the wintertime you got to change it a little bit. You know what I mean? There's things you can do at home. DM me later, guys, and we can get into that.
Yeah, on the road in the hotels or camps or crew houses,
Whatever
that you can do.
Porta Johns.
Oh, I did that one time with Porta John, bro. Dude, I'm on site and like, I'm walking across site and like they're blue, they hurt, right? And I'm like, fucking nature calls, right? I'm like looking at like, where are we doing this, boys? Fucking I look at the porta potty and I'm like, no. And I'm like, fuck it, full send. Go in the porta potty, man, and just fucking take care of my business, right?
Back to fucking work. Most productive guy on the job after that.
Yeah, well, dude, I was fucking ready for a nap, but yeah.
That's what I tell the.
Anyone got a cigarette? Like fuck. Yeah. Hey, I need an.
That's fucking hilarious.
I almost did it again a couple years ago. Fucking 2 years ago, I guess. One of our gay friends on the internet, he reached out to me. I got a big gay following. I don't know why. Maybe it's
me too.
Yeah.
I love my gay friends. I love all my beautiful gays.
And he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey man, how about would you be interested in making some private content for me?" I'm like, "Wow, shit! Like, what are we talking about?" He's like, "Pictures, videos." It's like, "I want you with your, it hanging out with your coveralls on. We want to see you like do it in a porta potty and and shit like that." And I'm like, "Fuck!" And like, he's like, "I'll give you $100." And I'm like, "You add a zero to the end of that, and I'm in." So he agreed, man. He paid
me.
Me
a lot I won't do for money.
Oh, dude, he agreed. He gave me $1,000, but then he gave me a $400 tip on top of that. He gave me a tip, and I gave him a tip right back. Like fucking
attaboy.
And fucking dude, yeah, I bought my wife a dishwasher with that money. So,
dude, you're a fucking trooper for that.
Oh yeah, dude. It was weird. I couldn't stay hard the whole time. I was looking at the video. Yeah, in the video, I'm looking at my tablet and I'm looking at a picture of him, right? Like saying his name.
Get the fuck out.
Dude, it was for him though, right? So I did that.
It's not gay because it was for him.
Couldn't stay hard though. So I had to like in between looking at his picture, I'd have to like look at my wife, right? I'd look at pictures of my wife.
Dedication.
Fucking and then when I finished on the picture of him, like on my tablet. I was like, right? Oh, dude, he loved that. Oh, worth his money, dude, for sure. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, that dishwasher actually the motor just died on it yesterday.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sad day. Well, I got a couple-year warranty on it, so yeah. Well, man, I need
that extra fucking with that tip. You know what? Fucking put a warranty on that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Give me a warranty. I just got a fucking extra Venmo.
Yeah. I need a new dishwasher. I got his phone number right here. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Listen, that motor already went out. You need some butt stuff or what's up?
Yeah, hey, bro, I'm down. I'm down now. Yeah, man. No, it's pretty great, man. The internet's been a wild ride, dude.
It is. I love it. I love the internet. I love it. It's a great little tool. I'm marking a fish here. I might be able to slap a fish before the end of this. He's coming right. It's coming right for us.
Is he coming right to you?
It's coming right for. Yeah, it is. It's following my bait. We'll see if he comes up and eats it. They're being really fucking finicky. Ungrateful fish. If you don't use made in America bait here at Lake of America, you won't catch shit.
So, fucking, is the fish maybe afraid of our voices? It can hear us talking?
No, man, I'll be out here with music. It's just the temperatures and the fucking weather patterns that just got them acting not hungry. They eat good in here.
Oh, it looked like it was jerking there, but it's you. You're moving.
Yeah,
You're
I'm just doing
you're
a little
jerking.
twitching. Yeah, just a
You're
little. Yeah,
jerking.
just jerking my rod, bud. Just jerking my
You're
rod.
jerking your rod there, bud.
Yeah, twisting my hog or whatever. My buddy sent me that shit. My buddy sent me some video. He's like, I love twisting my hog, and it's like riding because I ride Harleys and shit. So he's like,
Yeah.
I love twisting my. I don't know. I can't do it justice right now, but it's a fucking funny ass video. The
Buddy, I
internet
know.
wins.
Yeah, what's that?
The internet wins again.
Fuck yeah. Hey man, where can people find you on the socials?
I thought you'd never ask. No, so I'm on TikTok. I've got the Funny Fitter on TikTok. And then on Facebook, that's it. Just the
Yeah.
funniest. It's the funniest fitter on Facebook because it was kind of hard. It wouldn't give me the funny fitter. I don't know why, but they let me do the funniest fitter. They thought that was a real name. So whatever.
You need to get an
The first name, funniest, middle, fitter, last name.
You need to get on Instagram.
I do, yeah. I mean, I got Instagram just under, my real name, but and I've got a real Facebook too, but and hell, I got more people on my real Facebook because I didn't really do the
Yeah.
the funniest fitter on Facebook. So I got more of a following of people that just kind of know me through TikTok and sharing my stuff prior to having an account. But yeah, yeah, Facebook and TikTok, the funny fitter on TikTok and the funniest fitter on Facebook, man.
Man, my Dick Frost Facebook account just became my largest social media platform.
Really? Yeah, I really think there's some potential there. I just don't get on it enough. And the live, streaming on there, I'm not a fan of it. I think they should
Not a fan
look.
of Facebook streaming either, yeah.
Yeah, they got to look into it. It's not integrated. It's not. Uh, People can't interact well enough with you quickly enough either. I don't like it.
Yeah. So on here, on here on the podcast page here on StreamYard, I could live stream to Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter,
I
and
seen that. Yeah.
YouTube and Twitch all at the same time. And it's pretty cool. But like with Facebook and YouTube, though, the comments come in delayed, right? So
Right.
you kind of see that a bit. And then when I do a live stream, I usually keep my phone up here in the corner, and then I also live stream to TikTok too, right? So when I don't do live streams all that often, but it's something I got to do more of, right? So,
Yeah, you said it earlier, man. Like that's how you build your community and you build your following.
yeah,
Every time I go live, I've got 25, 30 new followers.
yeah,
I mean, every time. If I dedicate an hour and a half, 2 hours,
yeah.
and all it takes is just sitting there and saying, "Hey guys, if you like hanging out, check out my content. It's not for everybody. Take a look at it. If it's for you, hit the follow button." I say, "Hey, even if it's not for you, you like hanging out, watching me fish, hit the follow button. You see something you don't like, just hit not interested. You don't even gotta unfollow me. You know what I mean? Just hang out for the lives when we're fishing. You know what I mean? We keep it pretty mild on the politics. I got people that'll come in and try to get me going. Sometimes they'll get me to comment a little bit. I
Okay,
can't help it, but it's like, hey, we're fishing right now. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? We're not it's not just my welding blue collar humor all the time. I try to keep it real, a little bit. And I found that's the best way is streaming live, and this podcast, shit like this will probably help. I've been looking forward to doing a podcast, so I appreciate the offer, the
hell yeah,
invite.
man, dude, hell yeah. I like talking to, like I said, blue collar folk or even people I find interesting. I've had people on that aren't blue collar, right? But I like that. That's what that's for. It's platform building, right? And we're creating a connection here. We're networking, right? And
That's it.
I'm helping maybe people discover you for the first time, and
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
make videos, and you'll probably talk about it, and then maybe
Yeah,
people discover me, right? It's
100%. Yeah, I'll definitely share it with the world. Hey, go check out the podcast. It's on. I love that I seen it was on Spotify, Apple Music. I love it. I'm on Spotify. I already followed the podcast. Was checking it out earlier. So
I love that. Thanks, bro. Dude, the
yeah,
podcast, I grew 1,000% last year,
that's
and
awesome.
25, I think it is. And man, it's listened to in 28 countries, and fucking dude, it's sick.
Sick.
I love that, bro. I love that.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the power of the internet again.
Yeah, man.
Badass.
crazy. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, though, brother. You know,
Yeah,
it's
man. My light just died. Like it didn't die, but it just hit the lower setting. So yeah, just
yeah.
that's my timer sometimes when I'm out here too. It's like, all right, time to go in. Damn it.
I like to wrap up the podcast with one last question there, and it's you know, Mount Rushmore has 4 of the most influential people up on the rock. If the funny fitter could have his own Mount Rushmore, 4 people that he looks up to, inspires to be, or that have inspired him, who would be on the rock and why, man?
Oof.
Yeah, get you drunk, fucking talk about our dicks.
Right, right. I'm gonna go. The first 2 are easy. I'm gonna go my grandfather and my dad, just because I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't have the work ethic. I wouldn't be an industrial tradesman at a fucking extremely high level. My mom, for being there, you know, would be up there, and then my current fiance, because she saved my life. Uh, you know, and my mom was just there while my dad wasn't. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
yeah, my grandpa, my dad, my mom, and my soon-to-be wife.
that's awesome, man. My dad's also on my rock, but for different reasons, right? Like, my dad's not someone I look up to. I don't talk. We don't talk really. We don't get along. You know, he's on my rock because, you know, when I look up and I see, okay, this is what he would have did, I'm going the other way, right? But
Sure.
also because, and it's changed a little bit, as I've gone through my own mental health shit, and I realized my dad was also going through his own mental health shit. That's why we're fucking here today in this situation. My
Hmm.
dad didn't reach out for help, right? My dad didn't get the help he needed. He didn't talk about his issues, and it just got worse. And luckily, I have Mrs. Frost at home who, you know, she pulled me out of that. And she said to me something that really fucking slapped me in the face. And she said, every year, every day for 20 years, I've had to fight you for you. Right. And my dad didn't have that. My dad had, you know, a couple women that were also going through their own shit
Hmm.
and couldn't take care of him the way he needed to be taken care of or help him the way he needed it. So he was discarded and thrown into the trash way too easily, I think.
Sure.
And that just made his situation worse, right? So, you know, my dad's not a good person, but you know, he also needed more help.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. You got to have the right people in your corner, and that's what saved my life, and that's why I'm here today, because I got the fuck away from those people that were weighing me down. Even though I loved a lot of them, but they were stagnant, not going anywhere. You know, I had to get away from them. You know, but I love them, but that's it. You know,
We're talking
that's
to my parents. I love them, but I can't, right? I can't.
right. Yeah,
You know,
that's it. You can love somebody and not have them in your life. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Man, I thanks for coming on the podcast, man. I really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having me, Dick.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I loved it, man. I love the podcast, man. I get really pumped to record. I get really excited for release days, which is every Tuesday.
Okay.
I get really excited. The countdown's on, you know, from the moment I wake up. It's like, all right, 8 hours until fucking release time, right?
That's right.
Fucking 3 hours until she's out. And then she comes out, and I'm like, yeah, fucking, it's out. It's out. People are listening to it. I hope they hear what I hear. I hope they're, you know, they like it as much as I enjoyed recording and shit. So, you know,
Sure.
yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Well, let's do it again, man, sometime. You know, we'll try it again another time down the road. You know what I mean?
I'm
Touch
down.
base
I'm
again.
always down, man. I've only had a couple people that have been on more than once, but
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm down to always, you know, have other people back as repeat guests and, you know, shoot the shit with them. And, you know, it's always fun, man. You know, it's a good
Yeah,
time.
100%. Yeah, we'll do it on the after the next election.
Yeah. Yeah. When he's in for another term and he,
Right?
not
I'm
away,
not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
leaving. Just yeah. That I'm surprised I haven't seen that AI generated yet.
coming out, coming soon,
Yeah,
man. Well, we're only in year 1, right? So we're
that's it.
the second year. Wait for 2 more.
That's it. Yeah, no doubt. The Leo with Trump head. I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
thanks for having me, bro. I'm
Oh,
looking forward to
thanks, man.
listening to it, and yeah. I love it. I'm gonna check you out on what, Instagram too, right?
Yeah, I'm on the gram. Yeah, the gram's a lot of fun. I'm losing followers over there right now, man. It's hard to grow on the gram at the moment, but
Okay.
that's all right. You know, that's the part of social media. It's an experiment, right? You
Yeah.
throw out a video, if it don't work, you throw something else out until it does work. And Instagram is no different. You know, losing followers, but also they're getting rid of a lot of bots on Instagram. They're cleaning it
That's
up.
what yeah, I'm not a big, that's why I don't like that, or like Twitter even too, you know, it's just, it's
Yeah,
full of just so much bots and just
yeah.
fake shit. But yeah, man, thanks
All right,
again.
brother.
Enjoyed the chat. Uh,
Absolutely.
good luck with the podcast and everything you got going on, man. The mental health shit too. I hope that works for you. And yeah, if anybody else is out there watching and needs somebody to chat to and that's been through the shit and back, man, holler at me. You know, the funniest fitter, Casey Campbell, man. I'll throw it right out there. I'm a real human being, you know, and I'm always there. My phone's always on. I'm always open ears for any man, woman, you know, not in an inappropriate matter, obviously, right? But I'm there for people struggling, man. I really am.
Yeah, no dick pics.
Well, we got to
Maybe.
get on a different app for that.
Beef finder.
Yeah, right. But yeah, man, thank you again, brother. And yeah, I'm sure we'll chat later, but or you know, in the future. But thanks for having me, brother.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, stay frosty, man.
That's right.
All right.